So you're speaking to an audience of overachievers. Being compassionate to oneself is actually one of the primary challenges that overachievers have, because they've been using beating themselves up as a way to geek out more motivation, more to do things that they don't necessarily want to do, right? Internally, subjectively. So can you share with us, zooming at the moment of where you're being more compassionate or practicing more self-compassion to yourself? What's happening?
It's a great question. And I think it's one of the most powerful tools that we have, because we're always going to make mistakes. No matter how good we get at what we do, there's going to be times when we don't have all the pieces in place. Otherwise, we're not growing. We're going to be, life is going to push us synchronistically into situations we can't handle comfortably. So that's my view, at least. So assuming that's true, how do we handle those moments when we make a mistake? Self-compassion allows us to deal with the internal feelings that we have. If I make a mistake in front of a crowd and it's actually somebody else, so I feel like somebody else put me in that situation, or somebody confused me and so I did something wrong, I might go into resentment or blame. If I go into resentment and
others or towards
someone else.
Towards someone else. Okay.
But that's because I'm actually beating myself up. So it starts with me beating myself up for making a mistake. Then I go to find someone else whose fault it was. So I can practice becoming less blaming, but actually the best thing to practice is becoming more compassionate with myself. Because if I don't feel upset at myself, there's no need to go out and find other people that are to blame. So that's the root of it. Of all the other negative effects that I might be causing in the world is the self-treatment, the self-compassion. So if I find myself at any time in a negative space of feeling resentment or anger, or these kind of negative type of feelings that we can feel, I can look inside myself and try and track down, where is it that I'm not being accepting of myself, or that I'm expecting more of myself than I was able to give? And this comes back, you don't need to necessarily forgive myself. I don't even know what that means right away, but I need to recognize the pattern. Okay, I'm actually being hard on myself because I should have put in more time preparing last night and I didn't. Okay, why am I hard on myself about that? I do remember a time earlier in my life when my parent or someone, a role model, was really harsh with me about that. And I really believe it's important to prepare well. So I let myself down. Just recognizing that pattern and that internal dialogue can help to have some space from being reactive about it.
Okay, so say you identify that early childhood moment, and then what?
So there's this process that I call synchronicity as a process of healing. And it's basically saying you're going to keep repeating patterns. And you're going to keep experiencing synchronicities which replay that pattern for you. The synchronicity is you're on stage and somebody screws up and it affects you. It's a negative thing maybe that puts you in the same situation. So then what do? If you know yourself enough, if you've seen the pattern enough, if you've seen how you get angry and why enough, then you have choice as to how you respond.
Yes.
So let's say I'm in a situation where I'm feeling self-critical for not preparing enough last night and therefore I'm not ready for the situation that happened.
Yes.
What would I do? I would pause. I'd not do whatever I thought I needed to do next, whether it's write back to somebody right away on email or say something directly to somebody then. I'd spend enough time reflecting. I'd do the Lorax process, listen to the situation, pay attention, open my mind. Maybe I don't have all the information, and I'd reflect on what it is that I'm feeling. And if I'm feeling upset at myself for not preparing enough, it's not somebody else's problem. So then I get to take responsibility for my own feelings of letting myself down or inadequacy.
So you do an inventory of your emotions.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good way to put it. Thank you. Do an inventory of your emotions. And I think that just by doing that inventory, you start to see places in your life where you actually have made mistakes and you're accountable. So maybe this person made you screw up on stage, but actually it was a result of something you said that gave them the feeling that that's what you wanted. And taking
responsibility for what's actually happening internally for you.
Yeah. And once you see that, then you can have compassion for everybody and go, oh yeah, I see I was part of this mistake. We were all part of it.